The man joining me right now, CM Punk. You know, we go way back, Punk. I know you very well. And this tonight, as you go for the world title, could very well be your biggest match in your career. What is going through your mind right now?
Well, let's take a look at my career in Ring of Honor so far. Let's take a look at win-loss records. Now, I may not have the greatest, but when it comes to big matches, as you say, Dave Prazak, the biggest match of my career tonight, I win big matches. Ask Colt Cabana. When I debuted here in Ring of Honor, we had a series of matches, and I came out on top. I always win the big one. Ask Raven, who's no longer here in Ring of Honor because of me. Big matches? How about January 10th, right here in Ohio? Ask Chris Daniels, who wins big matches. See, it doesn't matter how many losses I've had. It doesn't matter how many wins I've had, because right now, this is my first shot at the title. This is going to be my only shot at the title, because I'm going to win it. Samoa Joe's a great champion. But ask AJ Styles, who wins big matches. Ask Homicide, who has the killer instinct to pull out big matches. Everybody here in Ring of Honor knows I'm the MVP. I'm the man to beat. And the people, they love Joe. The people have built Joe up, and Joe has built that title up. It means something. It's the biggest title in North America. Yeah, this is the biggest match of my career, and I'm going to pull it out. You see, what I do is crush the human spirit, and these people have built up Joe so big, there's nothing left for me to do but knock him off the mountain. 14 months as champion, that's an accomplishment, but I'm going to take that belt places Joe could never go. Steamboat's out of my way. Daniels is out of my way. Raven is long gone. Everything I said I was going to do in Ring of Honor, I did. Everything everybody said that I wasn't going to do, I did. I win big matches. Ask the Briscoes. Tonight is no different. So Samoa Joe, when I see you in that ring tonight, take a look at your belt. Kiss it goodbye and wave goodbye to the people. You ain't going anywhere, but your belt is. And it's coming home with me.
Thank you very much, CM Punk. Let's send it now to Les Thatcher, standing by with the champion.
Thanks, Dave. And with me, of course, is the ROH World Champion, Samoa Joe. Joe, I know you're geared to go tonight, but first I want to make an announcement, which I think will be important to you as well. July the 17th in Elizabeth, New Jersey, Ring of Honor will be crowning a new pure wrestling champion because of AJ Styles being stripped of the title.
Les, I mean no disrespect, but
it's all right.
I mean, I got to tell you as well as I know, how many more mistakes is the Ring of Honor management going to make? I mean, it was a failed title the first time, and obviously it's going to be a failed title this time. The Ring of Honor Pure Championship will never be held in the same esteem as the ROH World Championship, and that's for one reason, and that's me. But enough about that, Les. You know, tonight I'm facing a tremendous competitor in CM Punk, but Punk, you have to remember one thing: 14 months, 19 men, none of them get it done. And you think tonight that you're number 20, Punk, 20 on a list of men whose reputations speak for themselves. They said that AJ Styles would get it done. He didn't. They said that Christopher Daniels would get it done, and he didn't. They said that the notorious 187 Homicide would get it done, and he didn't. They've come from all over the world, Punk, and you think you got what it takes? I'll tell you what, they're knocking on my doorstep. One of the greatest professional wrestling companies in the world, New Japan Pro Wrestling, has called me out because they want to see if their men can take that belt from me. And CM Punk, you think you can take it tonight? You're sadly mistaken, because there's one thing you need to remember. Les, always a pleasure, sir, but I'm Samoa Joe. I'm your Ring of Honor World Champion, but most of all, I am pro wrestling, and I can't be beat.
The words of the champion, Samoa Joe. Joe, we've got a great surprise for you tonight. I think you'll be excited about that. Now we're ready for the second half.
would like to bring out a special guest. Please welcome at this time the esteemed Mr. Les Thatcher.
Presentation to make, and I want to say it was an honor to be asked to do this. Samoa Joe, I've watched your career from the outset. I've been very impressed with your talent, your intestinal fortitude, your bulldog tenacity. You have taken a regional title from Ring of Honor, and in 14 months, when titles aren't held that long any longer, you have turned it into a world heavyweight title. That this justified them doing something. And what I have here, Jeff, would you mind holding the mic for me? Is the brand new Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title belt that I'd like to present to Samoa Joe on this night here in Dayton. And there's no doubt that the man has earned it if I can get it out of his bag. There we go. But let's show this to everyone. This is the brand new Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title belt. How about a big hand for Samoa Joe? Joe, good luck to you. Mr. Punk, good luck to you. Gentlemen, have a great match. Thank you very much, Jeff. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Les Thatcher. And now introducing the opponent. He is from American Samoa. Weighing in at 270 pounds, he has held the title for 15 months, defending it in England, Germany, and the United States. He has kept the belt through 19 title defenses. Ladies and gentlemen, the reigning Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, Samoa Joe!
It's time for the match that the people paid to see. The world title is on the line. The champion Samoa Joe, he's held that title since March of 2003. In there with the challenger CM Punk, one half of the ROH Tag Team Champions, a man who earned this spot by pinning BJ Whitmer, the number 2 ranked guy in the top 5 rankings on 522. And Punk pinned him that night to earn this title shot. And here we go, the first lockup. CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. Punk's first title shot. Who's going to lead ROH in the future? We're going to find out now.
I'm so thrilled to be here. This has big fight night in Vegas, intensity and electricity in the crowd.
The atmosphere here in Dayton is unbelievable. You have to be here live to experience something like this. Let's see if we get a clean break. Yes, we do. And a cocky break at that by CM Punk.
It's interesting, the one guy that's not intimidated by Samoa Joe's track record is CM Punk, who believes that even though he's not the champion, and this is his first title match, that his record in big matches exceeds Samoa Joe's.
CM Punk, he has met Samoa Joe in a non-title match. That was all the way back almost a year ago, August 16th, bitter friends, stiffer enemies. Both men going into that match, though, with probably about 50 to 75%, as they both went and injured, which is why it was non-title. But now we have him at 100%, although many argue that Samoa Joe is beaten and worn down from all those title defenses that he's had. And, of course, he was involved in that brutal match against Homicide just 3 weeks ago, as that Homicide feud continues to rage.
It takes your toll not only physically but mentally as well, Jimmy. It should be pointed out that when you're not the champion, whether you're a Homicide or you're a CM Punk or a BJ Whitmer or any of the other top stars here, if you lose early in the card, you've got two or three cards to come back and regain that momentum and get that title shot back. A loss hurts, but you can recover from it. Whereas Samoa Joe has to be at his absolute best every time he steps in that ring to defend the title. He can't afford an off night. He can't even afford the big mistake.
This crowd in Dayton absolutely loving it in the early going, as both men being pretty cautious. And you're right about what you were saying about Samoa Joe. And not only that, but this is a guy that has met the true elite and has defeated them all, from AJ Styles to Christopher Daniels to Paul London, Dan Moff, BJ Whitmer, Doug Williams, Xavier. The list goes on and on and on of all the men that Samoa Joe has faced and defeated for that title. Homicide on a couple of occasions. I mean, it's a who's who. It's an all-star list of talent. And after meeting that kind of opposition for as long as Joe has, and are such high pressure and high profile matches, it's bound to take a physical toll on you.
And a mental toll as well. And sometimes that mental exhaustion can hurt you more than the physical exhaustion. Now, this is going to be somewhat of a battle for the tempo here. If you're Samoa Joe, one of the things that impresses me about Samoa Joe is even though he's the champion, he wrestles a very aggressive style and a very offensive style. We heard Samoa Joe's interview earlier. This is a guy that even though he's got the championship, still feels like he has something to prove. You know, he wants to face the best competition, and he wants to dominate the competition. He never seems to want to just escape with the title. He wants to prove that his title means more than any other in wrestling. I think he wants a high-impact match. I think Samoa Joe's best match is one that has a lot of strikes in it. I think CM Punk's match, on the other hand, is a little bit more of a wrestling match. And right now they've been on the mat. I think if this match becomes a mat wrestling match, I think CM Punk may have the advantage.
Samoa Joe does have that aggressive style, as you said. In fact, most of his matches, he likes to get over in about 15 to 20 minutes, and he usually takes it to his opponent right from the onset. CM Punk has slowed him down, as he is working that headlock right now. And it's only a matter of time until Joe explodes, as Punk goes back to that headlock one more time. And real quick, Mark Nolte, I do have to pay the bills. As I mentioned, Ring of Honor, a new era has begun, as Ring of Honor has started its own video company, its own home distribution DVD company, and now you can get all your ROH merchandise still at ROHWrestling.com. The website remains the same, but the new phone number, 215-781-2500. Again, that's 215-781-2500. And there'll be more than just Ring of Honor videos and DVDs there, as there'll be interviews with some of the top stars in wrestling. There'll be videos and DVDs from from other promotions, as well as other merchandise like figures, t-shirts, everything you can imagine. ROHWrestling.com is going to have it. The new Ring of Honor Wrestling Company is going to have it, in addition to all the ROH action. Again, that's 215-781-2500. Ring of Honor Wrestling, P.O. Box 1127, Bristol, PA. That's BRISTOL 19007. ROHWrestling.com. And now let's get back to the match, Mark, as CM Punk continues to work that headlock.
Snap suplex and a chop by Samoa Joe. Though notice that earlier when Samoa Joe got to his feet, look how quickly CM Punk tried to take him back down. I think that's going to be your match in the early part of it. Now Samoa Joe's trying to take over the tempo with what we were talking about earlier.
There's that aggressiveness coming out.
And the strikes. He likes to use the strikes a lot more than CM Punk does.
And CM Punk paying the price as he is down in the corner. This is the Samoa Joe style we usually see, with those strikes, with that aggressiveness, with that fast pace. Beautiful uppercuts there by Samoa Joe.
Well, Samoa Joe usually has a size advantage in his matches, and he's very good about using it. And again, CM Punk, wanting to control the tempo, immediately grabs the side headlock, hip locks him back down to the mat. And notice the way CM Punk rides him with that headlock. He's not just applying pressure to the head and the neck, but he's making him carry that weight. 270 pounds is a size advantage, but it also hurts your stamina. That's more weight that you have to support longer.
Ref Hansen right on top of it to make sure that there's no choke involved. And right now, CM Punk just squeezing at the head, and Joe might be getting a little desperate. Did you see him just go for the eyes of CM Punk? He's got to get out of this hold.
Well, I'm not sure he was going for the eyes. I think he was just trying to bring the neck back. CM Punk, and again, trying to stay on that knee. Samoa Joe just so powerful as he tries to stand up and to get out of that headlock. If nothing else, it gets CM Punk off of it.
Samoa Joe, he's made that title a world title. He's defended in England and Germany, and he's face to face with CM Punk right now. Samoa Joe has made that title prestigious. Whoa, what a slap.
Trying to taunt him into coming off the ropes. I'm not sure this is what CM Punk wants to be doing with Samoa Joe.
This is not the game that CM Punk wants to play. And another big shoulder block. Neither man going down.
Now CM Punk.
Oh, and he suckers Joe. And knocks him down with that shoulder block. That was the first sucker punch of this match. And Joe gets just angered the big Samoan.
Tries to monkey flip Samoa Joe down. Samoa Joe so big, tries to catch him with the crab. Rolls through the crab and gets a 2 count. Arm drag by CM Punk. An arm drag by Samoa Joe. And look at CM Punk. Takes the leg, sweeps the leg. Now it's Samoa Joe sweeping the leg.
And he goes for the kick, but Punk avoids it. What an electricity in this building.
Jimmy, can I disagree with something you said a moment ago?
Feel free, Mark Nolte.
I don't think that was a cheap shot. If Samoa Joe's just going to stand there and stick his chin out, I think CM Punk has every right to hit him with a forearm.
You know, you're right about that. Perhaps I should have said the first aggressive strike by CM Punk of the match. This crowd in Dayton showing their support for both men. We have a 50-50 crowd in this match.
I'm not sure this is what CM Punk wants to be doing. He gave Samoa Joe a long time to get his breath. CM Punk was able to control this match early with the side headlock, and I'm certain, and I know he doesn't want to go to a Greco-Roman knuckle lock, but he's going to take it.
And he gets a kick to the hamstring, another one. Joe peppering him once again, slapping the face of CM Punk. And look at Punk just trying to cover up on the ropes there. And Joe trying to strike anywhere he can, the chin, the side of the face, and Punk is just covering up. And Punk now backing into the corner, Joe looking for any opening he can get.
Now CM Punk comes up almost smiling. He was able to block all those classic cover-up positions. CM Punk, a lot of athletic background, a little bit of a boxing background.
And he was trying to psych out Samoa Joe right there. CM Punk showing Samoa Joe, hey, you just tried to hit me with some of your best shots, and look, it did absolutely no damage. Definite mind games from the challenger.
Boy, and so I gotta wonder if it's a mind game here, asking for once again for that Greco-Roman knuckle lock, because you know he's not going to outpower Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe looks like he's just kind of toying with him. CM Punk trying to use his forehead in there against the shoulder of Samoa Joe for leverage, but it's not working. Samoa Joe definitely outpowering the ROH Tag Team Champion.
And right now he's just putting all that pressure on the wrists. You know, everybody that's done this before at one time or another as children knows how painful that position can be. CM Punk rolls out of it.
Nice European-style wrestling from CM Punk.
Now CM Punk, hammerlock. And Samoa Joe using that power just bulls him into the corner.
Oh!
And CM Punk does not cover up from those headbutts.
Oh, those had to hurt. They have to take something out of Joe as well, and it's face wash time.
What was CM Punk thinking offering those Greco-Roman knuckles?
Oh, CM Punk just saved himself and rolled out of the way as Samoa Joe is going for that running boot scrape. And CM Punk taking a breather.
I think he has to here. Yeah.
There's no timeouts.
Well, I think he had to because he was in serious trouble. If he'd hit that kick in the corner, it looked like he was setting up. This match could have been over.
CM Punk, some words for the fans at ringside. And he better not be worried about the crowd. But you know one thing about CM Punk, he's always thinking, he's always manipulating, he always has a plan, and even if it seems like he might be distracted, you know that he's really setting forth what his next 2 or 3 moves are going to be in his head. Oh, and look at Joe catching with that slap.
Early in this match, CM Punk controlled the tempo. Now this is the match that Samoa Joe wants to wrestle.
Samoa Joe going with those strikes, with those kicks. Punk once again just trying to cover up. Joe continuing to search for an opening.
Of course, you can cover up, but when someone is hitting you as hard as Samoa Joe is, that takes its toll on you too. I hate to sound like the complete sports geek nerd, but Rocky Marciano, the great heavyweight champion from the 50s, the guys would cover up. Marciano would punch their arms so hard, and for so many times, their arms were hurt. They couldn't even raise their arms by the end of the match.
Samoa Joe now. Big chop to the back. And goes for the kick, but Punk grabs the leg of Joe. And look at that, Punk going back to the headlock.
Jimmy, let me ask you a question. You've seen all of Samoa Joe's title defenses, and you've seen all of CM Punk's big matches, and what a resume by both wrestlers. Who has more impressive wins in ROH, CM Punk or Samoa Joe?
You know, that's a good question, Mark. And as CM Punk unleashing those cross faces, I'd have to say it's a tie. Samoa Joe definitely has a better one-loss record than CM Punk, but CM Punk wins the big match. He's done it time and time again. When it's on the line, CM Punk wins. He proved that in Chicago when in the main event in his hometown, he won the tag team titles with a Pepsi Plunge. And you know, he might have lost a couple of matches for the old Pure Wrestling title, but that was definitely with debate about how the rules were interpreted. And CM Punk, he won the Raven feud. He won all the big matches of that feud. When it comes to the time for the big match, for the big one, CM Punk is a winner. There's no doubt about that. Meanwhile, those Samoa Joes put on classic title defense after classic title defense, always pulling out the victories right when it seems like he's on the verge of defeat. So you're right there, even on both accounts.
Well, what a tale of the tape that we've got going into this title match.
And look at Joe taking a breather here. Well, you don't usually see the champion do that.
Yeah, that's great. Well, go do it to CM Punk.
Now Samoa Joe's just having fun out there right now, and the crowd's eating it up.
Yeah, well, how much fun is he going to have if, when he gives CM Punk enough time to regain his composure and CM Punk takes his title?
You know what, Samoa Joe, though, Mark, he might have been buying some time there to regain his composure, as nothing Samoa Joe's done so far has really worked.
Well,
and now Punk punking out his own fan. That guy's had better days. Sorry to cut you off before there, Mark.
and CM Punk jumps up again, grabs the side headlock. You know, tosses him to the mat, and again, they're fighting for control of the tempo.
CM Punk using that headlock throughout this match so far, using it for a couple purposes. One, it slows down the pace, definitely taking Samoa Joe out of his normal routine, his normal game plan by slowing down that pace. And although you're not going to win a match with a side headlock, it does wear down your opponent, it does restrict that blood flow to the head, and it does make you groggy, and it could play into the later stages of this match.
Well, and especially when you apply it from a prone position and you're laying on the guys that he's carrying CM Punk's 220 pounds on his chest. And Samoa Joe goes for the big move there, and again, CM Punk, not being baited into the exchange of the high-impact moves, goes right back to the rear chinlock. And again, when he makes Samoa Joe carry his weight on his back like that, it collapses the lungs and the rib cage, making it harder for Samoa Joe to get oxygen.
You notice something else, Mark? When Joe tried to pick up the pace, Punk immediately slowed it back down by going to that chinlock, which does many of the same things that the side headlock does.
Absolutely.
CM Punk obviously had a master game plan going into this one, slowing the champion down.
Well, you can't play into the champion's strengths. You can't put your head in the lion's mouth, and if you're going to sit there and try to trade shots with Samoa Joe, you're going to lose.
And the world champion now unleashing, and he gets that kick finally, goes for the knee, Punk tries to roll out of the way, but Joe connects. Cover! Ref Hansen, just a 2 count.
Look at Samoa Joe, though. I wonder if we're starting to see some of the effects of those chin locks and headlocks. Samoa Joe looks like his breathing is becoming just a little bit labored.
That chest definitely heaving a little bit more. Samoa Joe unleashing some of those high-impact strikes and kicks on CM Punk, and it's not slowing Punk down as he blocks that vertical suplex attempt.
This is the point where Samoa Joe usually goes in for the kill. And it'll be interesting to see if he can go for it here. Lifts him up with a vertical suplex.
He lets the blood rush to Punk's head as the fans count to 20.
And Samoa Joe, though, a little bit slow following up the advantage. And that has to be due to the headlock. There's the cover, hooks the back leg. CM Punk rolls the shoulder.
I see a look of frustration in the eye of the world champion right now. Most of his matches are normally over by now.
And right now, we're not seeing Samoa Joe as aggressive as we saw him 10 minutes ago.
As he's trying those strikes again, striking Punk in the corner. Punk once again covering up, letting Joe take those swings and just trying to protect himself in the meantime. And those swings and punches and strikes, they don't have behind it what they normally have. Oh, and a finger to the eye cuts off Joe. And a side headlock by Punk once again.
And Jimmy, you brought it up earlier, the frustration level, and you saw frustration level there as he took a second to argue with the referee that gave CM Punk the opening.
Very interesting strategy by CM Punk as he continually lets Joe strike him, covering up and negating the effectiveness of those strikes.
A lot of people saw the Spike Lee movie about Muhammad Ali and the Thrill in Manila. You had George Foreman, who was the most dominant heavyweight of that era. who was beating everybody within 3 rounds, knocked Joe Frazier out in 2 rounds. Nobody gave Muhammad Ali a chance. Ali went into that like a 10-1 underdog. Thought that Ali was well over the hill, well past his prime, and couldn't hang with the power of George Foreman. But Ali went in there, was willing to absorb that brutal beating by covering up on the ropes. He called it the rope-a-dope, and let Foreman punch himself out.
You don't think CM Punk's trying to do that here?
I have seen enough of Samoa Joe to know that that's probably a pretty good strategy, because you're not going to trade shots with him and win.
Wow, what a genius strategy by CM Punk, taking a page out of history right there. And it would work for Ali. It could work for CM Punk right here, as Joe is tired and he is absorbing those chops.
Now the question is, can CM Punk put Samoa Joe away? Because Jimmy, you've seen a lot of both of these guys to know they can both take a punch.
And Joe looks tired, he looks fatigued, and CM Punk's beginning to dominate with some offense here. Let's see if he can do it. Let's see if he can keep it going. And he is just choking the world champion in the corner with that boot. Ref Hansen calling for the break.
Again, working on the oxygen of the champion. If you can't breathe, you can't win.
Joe's trying to fire back, both men going toe-to-toe. Joe getting the advantage on Punk with those strikes. Punk goes down, and this time Punk goes out of the ring, but he grabs the leg of Samoa Joe, pulls him out, and I'm not sure this is where CM Punk wants to be with Joe.
Absolutely not.
Joe continually peppering Punk with those slaps, with that forearm. And another headbutt. Punk is down. Nowhere for Punk to go. Of course, there are no countouts here at ROH. The referee can disqualify you if you're on the floor for too long. But I got a feeling they're going to be out there for about a half an hour for Ref Hansen to stop this one. And Punk takes that steel.
And he's also holding his knee. I think his knee hit the guardrail on that flip.
And Joe taking a breather and stomping, just bracing that foot in an insulting way on the face of CM Punk.
He's almost using CM Punk's strategy there. He's slowing the tempo down, and he's trying to take the oxygen away from CM Punk.
And you know what could be coming up. The fans could be calling for it. No Ole kick as Punk changes the momentum one more time.
Gotta get back in the ring. You're not gonna win the exchanges out on the floor.
And let's see what Punk has in mind. He's not going to Ole kick Joe, is he?
Oh, this is such a bad idea. You cannot, if you're the challenger, you cannot win the title on the floor.
Oh, Joe got up and Punk saw it, and Punk scurries back into the ring.
That's where he needs to be.
Everyone in this building in Dayton is on their feet as they are watching this world title match develop.
And this has turned into a chess match.
This 50-50 crowd once again voicing their opinion with that "Let's go Punk, let's go Joe" chant. And both these men are feeling that adrenaline from the crowd. They're coming face to face in the middle of the ring. Joe with that kick, both men trying with kicks.
Well, CM Punk is not going to get the better of those exchanges.
And Punk once again retreats into the corner, but this time he's unable to cover up and protect himself from those big knees and that palm strike.
Well, that was completely unprotected. When CM Punk turns around, check to see if there's still a nose on his face.
And Joe definitely beginning to sense that he's got the momentum in his favor. Let's see if he can follow up.
I think he needs to try to finish him off right here.
No doubt about that, Mark Nolte. He needs to get this over and done with. And Punk flips into the corner, and he's stuck there. He tries to get up, yes. Oh, and Joe nails him with the forearm. Punk is down on the floor.
And Samoa Joe's just sitting in the ring waiting for him. Tope!
Looks like Joe got tired of waiting.
A 270-pound Tope Suicida by the ROH champion.
And that is is what makes this man a world champion. He is as agile as they come. Never mind the fact that he's a big man. That does not affect his mobility one bit as he wrestles like a 150-pounder of Special K.
And he'll certainly put his body on the line the same way a 150-pounder will. But look at his right knee. He is favoring it. Let's see if he can put weight on it as he stands here.
Well, they're called high-risk maneuvers for a reason, because even if you score, you still hold a chance of hurting yourself.
This is what I meant earlier, Jimmy, when I said even though he's the champion, he wrestles as a challenger sometimes.
And it's ole ole kick time. And Punk stops. He stops Joe right in his tracks with that back elbow. Punk avoiding the ole ole kick, goes for a hurricanrana. Joe catches him though. Oh, Punk hard into that steel.
CM Punk may be out. CM Punk may be out. Give CM Punk credit. He tried to control the tempo of this match for as long as he can. But Samoa Joe, so powerful, so aggressive, so physically dominating with those strikes, that once he gets the advantage, it's like trying to stop a freight train.
Look at the gut of Samoa Joe and the chest heaving as he tries to get his breath, and he was unable to follow up. Uh-oh, he's going to follow up now.
But he's moving a little bit, a step slower than we normally see him moving.
And he scores with the ole ole kick that time, taking the face off of CM Punk. I wouldn't be surprised if that busted a nose.
Needs to get him up. Needs to get him in the ring. Needs to finish this match.
He could be going for another ole ole kick. Right now, Samoa Joe is just toying with the challenger. And he connects again.
That's gotta be it. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody kick out of after getting hit with two ole kicks.
Samoa Joe needs to get CM Punk in the ring. He needs to go for the Island Driver, the Muscle Buster, or the choke. That's how he wins the majority of his matches, and he has Punk in a position to score with one of those moves right now.
Do you think it kind of bothers Samoa Joe that the crowd was 50-50? You think this might be what this is about a little bit?
Or perhaps the fact that CM Punk controlled the tempo of this match. Normally Joe controls the tempo of matches. And there's another ole ole kick. Samoa Joe just punishing the challenger.
That face has just got to be crushed.
And look at the pain on the face of CM Punk. Samoa Joe back in the ring. And I would think that Samoa Joe would want to get CM Punk back in the ring immediately so he could try to capitalize on this situation.
I'm a little bit surprised, too. You would think after that he should just be able to roll him into the ring and just, a simple cover and hooking the leg would get the win. Now, CM Punk knows that there is no count out.
CM Punk staggering, struggling to get into the ring. Can he pull himself in? He has taken quite a beating so far. How many of those blows, those strikes, those kicks from Samoa Joe registered earlier? We do know that those 3 ole kicks registered big time, but the world champion slow to follow up as CM Punk pulls himself to his feet, but he looks in no condition to fire any kind of offense right now. CM Punk might be at the mercy of the world champion.
Samoa Joe may be actually smart and not just bull rushing CM Punk. Punk's so cagey, could have been playing possum.
And he was! CM Punk lands on his feet. A burst energy. Oh, he gets driven through the mat with that sidewalk slam, though.
Now Samoa Joe is starting to feel it. Crosses over for the cover, hooks the back leg.
Only a 2 count. The challenger kicking out.
Staring at the referee's not going to turn that into a 3 count. You're not going to win the argument with the referee. Follow up the advantage, win the match.
About 15 to 20 minutes ago, I noted that everyone in this building was on their feet. They have yet to sit down as Joe unloading with that chop and punch combo. Punk unable to cover up. Punk now down in the corner. There's the face wash Joe. This is the Samoa Joe that has kept the belt since March of 2003 against top challengers from all over the world.
If this was a boxing match, the referee would have stopped it. CM Punk out on his feet. I have no idea why he's still conscious.
But look at CM Punk though, pulling himself, using the top rope to get to his feet, only to get taken down by Joe, who's now squeezing the head of CM Punk with his legs.
And this is almost a sleeper at this point. Yeah, if he could get that thigh across the carotid artery, and especially with all the damage that CM Punk has taken.
Joe has proven he can get that choke from numerous different positions, including using a triangle choke or a triangle armbar like he did against Matt Striker in Chicago to get victories. So CM Punk definitely has to beware of those different moves in the arsenal of Samoa Joe. And look at Punk turning it over, and he gets out of the hole and traps Joe.
Now Punk needs to keep this hold on for a while. Get him off. Yeah,
Joe is in the ropes, Ref Hansen right on top of it, calling for the break.
See, right now, CM Punk needs to stick and move as much as he can. He needs to try to stay away from Samoa Joe and try to get the cobwebs back, try to clear his head. And Samoa Joe giving him no chance at that as he follows Punk into the corner with a pair of forearms and a headbutt.
Once again, though, those forearms don't have what they normally do behind it. Perhaps that rope-a-dope technique by Punk paying off. Punk now with a burst of energy, goes airborne, scores with that crossbody. The champion is down. Punk grasping at those ribs. What endurance CM Punk is showing right here, taking all that abuse and still firing back. Don't count the challenger out.
I've seen CM Punk take some brutal beatings. I've seen him take a brutal beating from Raven. I thought Raven was going to kill him. And CM Punk figured out a way to come back and win that match. Both of these wrestlers have one thing in common. They both have the ability to absorb an abnormal amount of punishment.
And Samoa Joe trying to fire himself up after those kicks by Punk. Joe gets to his feet. Punk puts him down with a big boot. Cover!
Didn't have the presence of mind of hooking that back leg, and sometimes that's not a mistake as much as when you've taken the punishment that CM Punk has, that's why you don't have the presence of mind of grabbing the back leg.
But you know what CM Punk does have the presence of mind to do, and now is grab the chin lock again. Trying to wear down the world champion. Most of Joe's title matches go about 15-20 minutes. I don't think he's ever had a match go over 25 minutes. So right now, Joe is on uncharted territory. CM Punk might be one move away from scoring the victory as he does that Russian leg sweep. Now trying to tie up the legs of Samoa Joe, but those massive legs are just too big. CM Punk having a little bit of trouble there. But yes, hold on. It looks like he might have the hold cinched.
Looks like he wants to try for the cross-legged submission.
And now he's pushing at that knee of Joe, applying the pressure. And if he could take Joe's legs out from underneath him at this point of the match, we're going to have a new world champion.
And remember earlier when he hit that suicida tope that he landed on his knee, and that's the knee that Punk's working on now.
Joe firing back with those chops to the chest of CM Punk, and Punk unfazed keeps the hold on. The challenger just absorbing a brutal beating, and while absorbing that beating, the champion is getting worn down. Punk firing back with those forearms, little to no effect. Joe pays him back with a slap.
See, I wouldn't even worry about the forearms. Just keep the pressure on the knee.
Well, there was an extreme look of pain on the face of Samoa Joe. That knee definitely getting worn down there.
Punk needs to watch his shoulders. And this is also giving CM Punk an opportunity to clear the cobwebs and recover from that brutal beating he took on the outside with those 3 Oleo leg kicks.
Oh, you don't want to headbutt the world champion. And now Joe paying Punk back with a series of headbutts. Absolutely brutal headbutts, one after another. And that's going to take something out of both men, but more out of the challenger.
Maybe the biggest mistake by CM Punk in this match to this point.
This crowd still on their feet. Look at the faces of all those people glued on the ring. They are witnessing a classic and a potential new champion right now, as I could not pick a winner in this one.
Well, put my money on Samoa Joe because CM Punk is still out on his feet. Looks like he might be going for the abdominal stretch.
Simple and effective at this point.
Oh, Jack Briscoe would be proud. That's how you apply the abdominal stretch. You plant both feet, lock the arms, now drop into the lateral guillotine, hooking the front leg. Yeah, Samoa Joe is a master of strikes, but make no mistake, Samoa Joe can wrestle. You know, that's a great technical wrestling move. The standing guillotine, also known as an abdominal stretch, turn into a pinning combination by dropping it into the lateral guillotine. And also notice the way that he hooked the hands on the abdominal stretch to put more pressure on the ribs, and at the same time kept both feet planted so he'd have a good base.
Beautifully done. And those chops right there, putting both men down. And CM Punk, struggling to his feet, comes off and scores with that knee to the head of Samoa Joe. And I think at this point of the match, that one move could finish off either man. They're so worn down, so tired, so beaten up at this point, and especially Samoa Joe, who usually doesn't go this long in matches. If CM Punk scores with one high-impact move, it could be all over. We could have a new world champion.
Well, I also think both men at this point are questioning themselves. Both men have done what they've needed to do to win this match. Both men have hit what they've needed to hit that would have beaten any other opponent. They've won matches doing less to other opponents, yet this match is still going. I think Samoa Joe in particular has to be questioning himself. 3 devastating ole kicks.
A couple of pinfalls. Joe kicks out of both of them.
That time he hooks the top wrist lock to try to secure the pinning combination. But what is Samoa Joe thinking to himself at this moment?
Well, right now, CM Punk has got to be thinking about taking the worn-down world champion and hitting the Pepsi plunge. If he's able to do that, this match is definitely over, and we will have a new world champion. And right now, Samoa Joe is fatigued. He's tired enough, so CM Punk might be able to get him in a position for that Pepsi plunge.
Well, if you're going to hook the front leg, you've got to cross the body on the pinning combination. Yeah, you know, now we're seeing both guys, the level of frustration's increasing. You have to wonder if this match is going to break down into a brawl at some point, because I think both men are questioning exactly what it is they need to do to win the match.
Oh, and look at Punk insulting the world champion by mocking him, and that did nothing more than piss off Joe and give it an adrenaline burst as he connects with a big enziguri and a big back suplex.
I'm telling you right now, the mustard fell off the hot dog. If you've got Samoa Joe hurt enough, if you have enough time to drop into a double bicep, you have time enough to try to hook a leg.
CM Punk may be getting a little bit too smart for his own good with those mind games. Both men down now. Punk once again trying to pull himself up with those ropes, using every last ounce of strength he has to get to his feet. The world champion kneeling on all fours, now trying to get to his feet with his last bit of energy and strength. Oh, both men connect with clotheslines. Roaring forward. Cover!
2 7/8. Nothing but the power and the guts of Samoa Joe saves the ROH title. I promise you, he rolled that shoulder on pure instinct.
Can CM Punk follow it up? He's unleashing those forearms, and notice this time Joe is not fighting back. Punk hitting the ropes. A sleeper hold. And this is where that headlock and the chinlock from before, they have worn down, those moves have worn down Samoa Joe for this very sleeper hold.
But the punishment that CM Punk take, he's having a hard time getting that locked in. He needs to get that form across the carotid artery. And look at the way that Samoa Joe's turning his head. You know, that's how you fight the sleeper. You keep trying to turn sideways.
And CM Punk not able to get Joe off his base either. Joe back on his feet, but once again CM Punk applies that sleeper hold. If CM Punk could get Joe off his feet, the champion might pass out from this move. And the champion's down to one knee. The champion's down on the mat to the sleeper hold.
But he's keeping that head turned. He's not able to get that forearm all the way underneath the carotid artery.
Samoa Joe has to get back up to his feet, and like you said, CM Punk has to get this hold cinched in. Wow, what genius plan by CM Punk, using that headlock, using the chinlock to wear down Joe, and now he's got the world champion down with the sleeper sleeper hold.
And a little bit of the rope-a-dope on the ropes and in the corner.
And Joe somehow gets to his feet. Back elbows. Punk relinquishes the hold. Goes for it again. There's a choke. No. Punk out of the choke. Applies the sleeper hold one more time. We could have a new world champion. This crowd in Dayton senses it. The champion is down.
This is when the sleeper hold is most effective, when you've gone long into the match, and when, as Jimmy, as we've talked about several times, when you force the oxygen out of the lungs with headlocks and chin locks.
Samoa Joe is close to those ropes, but look at him. He is going limp. The world champion is going limp. He needs to reach those ropes. He needs to get out of this hold in a hurry, but even if he does, he might be out on his feet. The world champion showing signs of life, trying to keep movement going in his body and not go out to this sleeper hold, but CM Punk has it locked in. Joe trying everything he can, trying to shake it off, trying to keep himself awake. And now Punk forced to go to the chin lock, but Joe gets to his feet. And scores with the enziguri to save the world title.
And that was not only an enziguri, it was a 180-degree enziguri. Samoa Joe, that was a desperation move, Chris. Samoa Joe felt the title slipping away. That was his version of the big roundhouse that he hopes to connect. That was a puncher's chance, taking that one last chance before he lost the title, and he scores with it.
And CM Punk intelligently rolls under the ropes so that Joe could not go for a pinfall.
How can a man that big do a 180-degree enziguri?
That's the agility that makes him a world champion. Now Joe with a backbreaker. He's got those legs, trying to turn it around into that Boston Crab we've seen Joe use so many times. Punk fighting it with every ounce of strength he has. And Joe trying to twist, and yes, he turns it over, and he has that knee buried into the spine of the lower back of CM Punk. At the same time, ripping at that knee, pulling up on those legs, tearing at the ligaments and tendons of the knee, while twisting the spine of CM Punk. And now he really has it cinched in deep.
If you get your leverage underneath the legs, he can't power out with his legs. And Samoa Joe knows that. That's how you keep someone from powering out from underneath the Boston Crab. Punk gets to the ropes.
Punk, with his last bit of intestinal fortitude, clutches at the bottom rope, forcing Ref Hansen to tell Samoa Joe to break the hold, and the world champion looks frustrated.
Oh, both these men are frustrated. CM Punk thought he had the match won with the sleeper. Samoa Joe thought he had the match won with the ole kicks, and then later on with that Boston Crab, which he had locked in perfectly. Both men have done what they've needed to do to win the match, but we're still going. And I think right now both men have to be questioning exactly what it is they have to do.
Punk back in the corner, and Joe unleashing those kicks on Punk. Punk in a very familiar spot in this match, in that corner, absorbing blows and kicks from Samoa Joe, who runs in with a knee.
I'm surprised to see him make a charge. Samoa Joe's got to be so tired, and it takes so much energy to make a charge like that, and that can turn into such a mistake if Punk can move out of the way.
Maybe Samoa Joe is going for that knockout blow. He might figure that's his only chance as he plants CM Punk on the top rope.
Samoa Joe, and actually both men, both Samoa Joe and CM Punk, moving a beat slower now.
I'm not sure what the time is in this match, but this match is easily by far the longest single world title match in ROH history, and this crowd in Dayton has yet to sit down. What an electricity in this building. I'm standing, you're standing, Mark Nolte, everyone in this building is. What an effort received by both men. This is history. Punk perched on the top rope, drops an elbow, cover,
can't hook the leg.
Oh, that could have been it. Right now, Samoa Joe, he's not thinking about his issues with Homicide and the Rottweilers. CM Punk, he's not thinking about Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who he put out at the last show in Philadelphia. That's why Steamboat's not here tonight. Both men are focused on the richest prize at ROH, the world title.
Now CM Punk is going to put Samoa Joe on the top rope.
He might be trying to set up for the Pepsi plunge. Joe not quite in position for it. Punk trying to wear down Joe more with those forearms. This could be that big home run swing that either man needs to win the match, and Punk is going for it right here. He's going for it all. Both men struggling on the top. Punk now getting his balance, getting control. He's got the world champion. Dumps him with the back suplex. If Punk could get the cover, it could be all over. Does he have the energy?
I think that took as much out of Punk as it did Samoa Joe, especially when you're having to deal with 270 pounds of dead weight and trying to position that on the top rope.
The crowd counting along with Ref Hansen. We could have a double count out right here. I wouldn't be surprised if neither man could beat the 10 count.
You know, I've seen some great long matches in my time. You know, I saw Nick Bockwinkel and Kurt Hennig go 60 minutes, you know, on ESPN, the most famous wrestling match in the history of ESPN. I've got videotape at WrestlingClassics.com of some of those tremendous Jack Briscoe versus Dory Funk Jr. matches. I've seen Paul Jones go an hour with Harley Race in Charlotte. I've seen Kerry Von Erich and Ric Flair battle for an hour in Hawaii. And this is what this match reminds me of.
Oh, power slam! Cover! Not quite enough. And look at Joe. He's going for that arm.
If he locks in the cross arm breaker, CM Punk will have to submit.
And Punk keeps grabbing his hand. He's got his hands clasped together, so Samoa Joe can't get that cross arm breaker, but Joe is trying to pull, trying to tear at the arm of CM Punk.
Even though he doesn't, and he rolls through with it and gets to the ropes. Great counter move. And that's one more move that Samoa Joe thought he had this match won, and yet once again CM Punk survived. And again, the frustration level continues. And you've got to talk about the conditioning of both of these athletes. You brought it up before how Samoa Joe usually gets his matches, his wins in under 15 minutes. I talked to Jack Briscoe one time. He said that he wrestled an hour draw with
look at those guana kicks!
With Dory Funk, and he said that before the match he stepped on a scale that was in the dressing room. After the match he lost 10 pounds.
Both men definitely losing weight in this one. Who's got more stamina? Oh, Punk, cover! Oh, that could have been it. It only takes 3 seconds. Joe cuts off Punk though. Scoops Punk up. Powerbomb! Cover! And he turns it over into that crab, and Punk is nowhere near the ropes.
This has got to be it right here. This has got to be it right here. CM Punk nowhere to go. All the pressure on his back and knees.
And he turns it into an STF. A favorite of Samoa Joe. And Punk is so far away from those ropes. His best bet might be to try to go backwards if he's even able to.
Oh, he's not going anywhere.
As this move tears at the knee and twists the neck and torso, and there it is. What great presence by CM Punk.
How did he carry 270 pounds really with one leg? He had one leg that he could move. Crawl without one leg with 270 pounds on his back while having his neck and knee wrenched.
And this crowd hasn't lost a beat, as now Joe trying to take Punk out of the corner, unable to. Once again, Punk returning home to the corner, trying to protect himself. And look at Joe, he's too tired to follow up, and Punk's too tired to take advantage. Oh, Punk lands on his feet! And connects with a boot to the face of Joe!
That was just CM Punk's desperation move. Now CM Punk quickly following up on his advantage. I don't know how much gas there's left in CM Punk's tank, but he's trying to get to his destination before he runs out of fuel.
And if he connects with this, Hurricanrana scores! The champion's down! Cover!
Didn't get the leg hooked. I think right now, both CM Punk and Samoa Joe are feeding off this crowd's energy. I don't know if they have much of their own. You've got pride, you've got guts, and you've got this crowd intensity feeding them.
And you have the ROH World Championship on the line. That's what both men are going for. Joe made that belt a world title. He's brought prestige to it. CM Punk wants to be the top dog here in ROH, and you need the belt to prove it. Punk now has Joe. Mule kick. Punk takes Joe and scores. That's a CM Punk original move. Cover.
Barely gets that foot over the bottom rope. I bet if either one of these athletes took their boot off and turned it upside down, you would see probably a cup of water pour out of the boot. They've lost so many fluids. You know, this is so exhausting to do what they're doing at this level, at this intensity for as long as they've gone.
This is the kind of match you only see from the true best, the true elite, those that are truly driven for success, and they're doing it for the ROH World title. Punk maybe going for a lariat, and he gets dumped though for his efforts. Joe saved himself, and Joe is trying to get an adrenaline burst. He's fired himself up. Sunset flip cover. No, turns it into that rolling cradle. Cover.
The move that Danny Hodge won so many World Junior Heavyweight Championships with, the Oklahoma roll. But again, you know, that move not only gets your opponent dizzy, but it affects your equilibrium as well.
As you see Joe there trying to get his bearings. Joe trying to lariat, Punk ducks it. Joe connects with that elbow, goes for a lariat again, no. Punk down with the crucifix, cover! Oh, just a second away from a champ. Mark, that's going to be it for CM Punk.
He decapitates. What a brilliant effort by CM Punk. You've got to give him so much credit for taking the battle to the champion, taking the champion absolute limit. No!
How is CM Punk kicking out after that lariat? Oh my God, this is a legendary effort from both men. CM Punk, I'm speechless. How did he do it? How did he do it? Both men down and exhausted.
And both men trying to figure out what they have to do to put their opponent away.
They have to be getting all their energy from the crowd at this point, as look at Punk trying to pull himself up with the ropes. Joe using the ropes to hold himself up. Both weary fighters. Oh, Joe unleashes that chop. He's going for a dragon suplex. Punk blocks it. Punk now behind Joe. Joe no reverses on Punk.
Joe going for the rolling reverse. CM Punk continues to block it. Now CM Punk with back elbows. Big forearm puts Samoa Joe to one knee.
Shining Wizard! It's all over him. He gets the cover. Here it is, new champion!
Rolls the shoulder at two.
How is Joe doing it? This is what's made this man such a legendary champion. Joe is cementing the legacy of his ROH World title reign right here tonight in Dayton.
And CM Punk is cementing his legacy as well by taking Samoa Joe to the absolute limit of his considerable abilities.
But CM Punk needs that world title to truly cement his legacy, and he might be one move away from getting it. Can he follow up on the weary and worn down world champion?
I don't know how either one of these men can still stand.
Oh, Joe ducks. Punk missing. Oh, a low blow. A low blow.
That's desperation on CM Punk.
And Joe clutches Punk though. Slams him knee first on the canvas. And I think we're at about the 45-50 minute mark in this match. And Joe has Punk once again focusing on that knee of CM Punk and driving that knee into the spine of CM Punk. Punk might tap out if he can't reach the ropes.
Half crab.
And look at Joe wrenching back, and Punk reaches up and grabs the ropes.
Half crab, a favorite of the great Lou Thez.
The fans chanting, please don't tap at CM Punk. I'm shocked to hear it. We haven't heard that since the beloved Paul London here in ROH. CM Punk earning the respect of these fans. And now Joe, muscle buster time. Joe has him set up. This puts everyone down. Oh, Punk avoids it. Joe now staggered, using those ropes to hold himself up as Punk goes up to the top. Joe slaps Punk, knocks Punk down. Joe now climbing up to the top. He's one big move away from winning this match, and it could be the superplex right here if he connects. Joe's going for it.
CM Punk.
Oh, hold on! Pepsi plunge! He's got him hooked! With the Pepsi plunge, but that's all impact on Punk's knees too. The already injured knees of CM Punk, and he could not make the cover. He was in so much pain that he rolled out of the ring. Those knees are in terrible shape, and as a result, CM Punk could not capitalize. The world champion is down.
He landed with so much force. With Samoa Joe at 270 pounds, the momentum took him to the apron where he rolled out of the ring himself.
And there is under 5 minutes left in the 60-minute time limit of this match.
Both men have used every move in their arsenal, plus some. Now they've got to figure out one pinning combination.
Punk could still get the pin though. He could still get the pin. No, Joe started making his way to his feet. Too much time elapsed after the Pepsi plunge. Punk now firing with those forearms. Goes in. No, ducks. Double clothesline, both men down.
I haven't seen a match go an hour since the Ric Flair-Ricky Steamboat series in the 90s.
I believe there's under 3 minutes left in this time limit of this match. Right now the clock is in Samoa Joe's favor. The challenger needs to capitalize, as in the event of a draw, the world champion retains the title. Punk needs to get aggressive in a hurry if he's still able to. Does he have the intestinal fortitude? Does he have the guts? Does he have what it takes to be a world champion?
Does he have the presence of mind?
Shining Wizard again! Punk up! Takes Joe into the middle of the ring, follows up with a vertical suplex, and Joe saves himself with a dragon screw. Desperation move by Joe, but effective on the injured knee of CM Punk.
And he created some distance between himself and CM Punk, which was what he needed, giving him a chance to regain consciousness.
I believe the timekeeper, I can't hear over this crowd. He either just called 2 minutes remaining or 1 minute remaining. Let's see if Punk can follow up. No, Joe. Right now, Joe just needs to kill a couple of minutes, and he's still world champion.
I don't think he's trying to kill a couple of minutes. This is Samoa Joe. He will be aggressive to the very end.
And what's Joe setting up for here?
Looks like he's trying to grab a three-quarter Nelson and suplex him off the top ropes.
Oh, he dumps Punk backwards on the back of his neck. A new move from Samoa Joe. Let's see if he can fall up to get the pin, though. Both men down. They can be counted out here before the time limit even elapses.
This is just incredible. You know, I've been thinking of all the hour time limit draws I've seen, and this ranks up there with it.
It's not over yet, though, Mark. We still have under a minute to go here, and neither man could get the pin in that time as they are slapping each other.
I saw Ricky Steamboat win a match over Ric Flair at 59 minutes.
And it could happen right here. We are under a minute, maybe about 30 seconds left as both men are slapping each other. And Punk scores with a DDT. But does he have the energy to get the pin? Oh, he collapses before he can get the pin. That clock is ticking. This match is almost over. And there it is. Joe saves the title.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And that's it. The 60 minutes have expired.
Incredible. An absolutely incredible display of wrestling ability, of athleticism, of endurance, and most of all of courage.
What a world title match we just saw. The Ring of Honor world title means it all. CM Punk and Samoa Joe, an unbelievable effort from both men. And I am so proud that we had this match in an ROH ring. This was history. This was something special. And I'm glad we could all share it. Wow. All I have to say is thank you to CM Punk and Samoa Joe.
It's Samoa Joe.
Homicide, I've done this before. Joe, I've done this before. You've done it before too. Everybody in their locker room has done it before. But Homicide, what you've never done before is pissed me off like you just did. It's pissed off Joe like you just did. You see this right here is the most important belt in North America. And it's because of you. This is your belt. Fuck anybody who tries to stop us.
10/16, October 2004. CM Punk vs. Samoa Joe, round 2. The first round was 6-12, Dayton, Ohio. Nobody won. It was a 60-minute time limit draw. The unstoppable monster, Samoa Joe, couldn't pin the immovable object, CM Punk. So here we are in Chicago. That's the big difference. Chicago, Illinois, my hometown, my backyard, if you will. You know, anybody who's a tough guy in any sport, any walk of life will tell you they know how to fight. They've gotten their ass kicked time and time again. I've gotten my ass handed to me plenty of times. You know, it used to be I'd go to high school, I'd get beat up in the hallway. I'd get beat up after school in the parking lot. One particular time, a couple of kids came to my house. They rang my doorbell. I was in the middle of eating dinner with my parents. I stepped outside and I fought and I scraped and I clawed, and I didn't look pretty after it was over, but I won. That's the big difference. They came to my house. This is my house. This is Chicago, Illinois. This is where I was trained. This is where I was born. This is where I was raised. I'm probably gonna die here someday. So Joe, anybody watching this, my best friend Ches is gonna be in the crowd tonight. We got two legends, Mick Foley and one who's gone 60 minutes with the best in the business on more than one occasion, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, in attendance. So those of you sitting in the crowd, and those of you at home watching this who know me, think for one single second that I'm not going to capitalize on all these points. You don't know me. You're sadly mistaken. This is my home court. Joe, you picked a fight. You just rang my doorbell. And I dare you to try to beat me in Chicago, Illinois. I dare you to try to pin me or submit me in my own hometown. It's not gonna happen, Joe. Your damn near 2-year title reign ends tonight. History in the making. Chicago, Illinois, 10/16/2004. 51st Ring of Honor show. New champion, CM Punk.
60 minutes, Punker. 60 minutes. In the span of 60 minutes, you proved one thing, and that you couldn't beat me. Tonight in your hometown, Chicago, Illinois, the birthplace of the straight edge hero, you think you have the advantage. You think you got my number. You think you can take what's mine. Punk, unfortunately for you, you fail to realize one thing. In 60 minutes, you failed. And tonight, you'll fail again.
just like B.I.G. is. I'm the greatest of all times. I'ma say it just like Ali did.
Introducing first to my left, the challenger from Chicago, Illinois. Representing the second season's CM
What an atmosphere we have here in the Frontier Fieldhouse in Chicago Ridge, Illinois. CM Punk challenging Samoa Joe for the world title. Both men shaking hands, respecting the code of honor, respecting each other, and we are underway.
Jimmy, you know how you can tell when two wrestlers in a match of this intensity really do have respect for each other?
Why don't you give us an answer, Mark?
You don't see the phony face-to-face, nose-to-nose stare down. Both of these men know neither man will be intimidated. And it's important to point out that CM Punk has home ring advantage. The Chicago Sun here trying to take the title in front of his hometown fans. And immediately, it's going to be Samoa Joe showing off his power. Jimmy, it's going to be very interesting, the early part of this match, because at World Title Classic, CM Punk came in with a revolutionary strategy. The first man that ever went to try to extend Samoa Joe, to test Samoa Joe's endurance, that was willing to take the punishment with a rope-a-dope, if you will, willing to just go up on the ropes and let Samoa Joe beat on him to try to wear Samoa Joe out. CM Punk realized that night that Samoa Joe does have the stamina to go an hour. CM Punk will most assuredly change his game plan tonight.
This is the rematch everyone's waited for since June 12th, World Title Classic. CM Punk, Samoa Joe going to a 1-hour draw for the world title. And many people call that the greatest match in Ring of Honor history. I'd be hard-pressed to disagree. A sure match of the year candidate. We got a quick cover! Right on with that strategy, Mark Nolte, as Punk going for the quick three and showing it to Samoa Joe.
Drop toe hold floats up into the crucifix pinning combination. It should also be pointed out, one of the very few men to pin Samoa Joe over the last 19 months was Colt Cabana in a non-title survival of the fittest elimination. And one of the things that Colt Cabana used was a pinning combination, used a back cradle to win that. And you know that CM Punk has been in contact with Cabana and has been strategizing with Cabana, what Cabana did successfully.
Cabana out with an injury tonight, not being able to be here in action in his hometown of Chicago due to Generation Next. And it is interesting to note that Cabana, right here in his hometown, had the world title shot at Samoa Joe last time in Chicago. Death Before Dishonor Part 2. Joe was unintimidated by going against the hometown guy, not letting the crowd play a factor in this one. Perhaps we'll see him keep that same poise tonight against the leader of the Second City Saints, CM Punk.
Overhand wrist lock now by Samoa Joe, and notice the way Samoa Joe is riding on top of CM Punk, making CM Punk carry that weight. Now CM Punk comes to his feet. CM Punk looking for the escape on the wrist lock, takes away with the extended wrist lock. Fireman carries the big man to the mat, and notice CM Punk is going to back away, doesn't want to make any mistakes early with Samoa Joe.
Almost a game of one-upmanship here. In fact, it is a game of one-upmanship. Punk with a cocky stare to Joe after he took him down. Another lockup between the two. Another intense lockup. Once again, Todd Sinclair, your official in this match.
And Samoa Joe using his power to bull CM Punk into the ropes. Todd Sinclair calling for the clean break. Clean break by Samoa Joe, but does protect himself on the break by making sure that CM Punk doesn't cheap shot him. Again, you have so much writing on this match. CM Punk didn't use the word guarantee, but he used every other word but guarantee when he talked about this match and how important it is that he walks out of here with the world title. Hammerlock reversal by Samoa Joe. Both men seem to contend to wrestle. Now Samoa Joe's going to bar the arm on that hammerlock. CM Punk looking for something. Because the arm's barred, he can't reverse it back out. Now CM Punk going to go to his knees. Samoa Joe going to follow him. He's going to bend that hammerlock back, fall away with his weight on that hammerlock. And last night, CM Punk had a match with Homicide where Homicide used that lariat and the back of a chair to punish the chair in the neck of CM Punk. And Samoa Joe's going to test that part of the body right now.
Punk reversing it on Joe. Comes up with Joe back on the arm. Both men having tough matches last night, but you know the adrenaline's flowing in them right now, and that's not going to play a factor in this one. Punk now, look at him walking away, keeping an eye on Joe as he does that. Another clean break, another standoff between these two athletes.
Well, we've talked about that the crowd may give a little bit of an adrenaline rush to CM Punk. Samoa Joe is used to at this point going into the match where the crowd is, rooting against him, but rooting for a title change. They want to be part of the history that's going to come from seeing the longest reigning ROH champion, the man that really put the ROH title on the world map, lose the belt.
It will be history when Joe finally loses a title, if he ever does at this rate.
Now extended wrist lock by CM Punk, taking a few pages from the Nigel McGuinness playbook, rolling out from underneath it. Reverse drop toe hold by Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe floats up into the camel clutch.
Joe with a cocky gaze out to the crowd as well, showing them that he's not going to be intimidated by them cheering for CM Punk, although this crowd also behind Samoa Joe as they do appreciate and respect him. Joe now really rearing back on CM Punk there. That could definitely pop out a vertebrae or two. Punk though out of the hold.
CM Punk brings Samoa Joe to the center of the ring, drops into the side headlock into the prone position. Now CM Punk draping that leg across there into a riding position if he has to keep control of the headlock.
It's very interesting that Punk going for the headlock here, as that was a definite strategy he used in that World Title Classic match. He kept going back to the headlock to wear down Joe and frustrate Joe. It'll be interesting to see if he tries those same tactics one more time.
Great observation, Jimmy.
Whip out. Shoulder block, no one budging. Punk going right back to the headlock.
And hip toss takeover. And again, notice the way CM Punk is forcing his weight across the chest of Samoa Joe. Now he's going to grapevine the arm to go with the headlock, and that's going to make Samoa Joe carry that weight. It looks like CM Punk is preparing for another long match. Certainly, he doesn't want to make any mistakes in the early part of the match. Now Samoa Joe takes that away with the head scissors.
Artie's in my earpiece. He's telling me to get the plug out of the way, so I will. ROHWrestling.com, 215-781-2500 for all your wrestling merchandise needs. ROH DVDs, DVDs from other companies. Ring of Honor is the new king of the shoot interviews with the Straight Shooting series. Check out Shoots with Mick Foley. Of course, you'll hear more about Foley and Flair on that one. Foley with some unbelievable words for Flair. Also Shoots with Too Cold Scorpio, Kamala, One Man Gang, The Fantastic, Steve Corino, Christopher Daniels, Ron Killing, Skandar Akbar, and much, much more. As Punk goes back to the headlock. Again, that's ROHWrestling.com, 215-781-2500. DVDs from lots of promotions besides Ring of Honor and the Straight Shooting interviews. The new king of the shoot interview is here, and it's Ring of Honor. Got that one out of the way quickly so we can get right back to the match and a side headlock by Punk.
Went for the Greco-Roman backdrop. CM Punk keeps on his feet and goes back to the side headlock. Speaking of plugs, let's give a plug to somebody that rarely gets a plug, but I think's done a great job lately, and that's referee Todd St. Clair. Since the Ring of Honor promotion has told the referees to emphasize the rules, they've adapted their officiating style. I think they've done a good job controlling matches. And Todd Sinclair, referees can get intimidated too by the importance of a match. Todd Sinclair has done a really good job keeping in the title match last night with Rocky Romero and Samoa Joe, immediately sent Homicide to the back to keep control of it.
That's why Sinclair was chosen as the official for this one. That's also why he was the official for Samoa Joe's Classic against Bryan Danielson at Midnight Express Reunion. That match going over 30 minutes. Many call that the match of the year. And Sinclair calling for the break right now.
Let's see if this is a clean break. No, there's the shoulder into the midsection. The second one by Samoa Joe. The third one by Samoa Joe. Knocking the wind out of the sails of CM Punk. Snapmares Punk to the mat. Comes in from behind with the reverse chin lock.
Samoa Joe perhaps a little frustrated with those headlocks. Not giving a clean break, but look at that. Punk reversing out of it into a front face lock.
Though technically every time there's separation, it's a clean break. I know that's reading the rule book in the most technical way possible.
A cravat now by Punk. Many people see CM Punk as the future Ring of Honor champion. Can he realize that destiny tonight? And he goes once again to the side headlock.
CM Punk, nice chain wrestling from the headlock to the hammerlock, back down to back over to the headlock hip toss takeover. And CM Punk has been in so many brawls that I don't know if people respect how good of a technical wrestler CM Punk is, and he's showing that in this match right now.
Punk really rearing in that headlock there. Joe taking him into the corner once again. And once again, no clean break from Joe. He's just unleashing those chops.
Nice composure on the part of CM Punk as he got cheap shotted twice on the breaks, once with the shoulder butts, once with the knife edge chops, doesn't respond, instead goes back to wrestling the match he wants to wrestle, back to the headlock hip toss takeover.
Punk employing the same strategy he did at World Title Classic. Jay Lethal in the corner of Samoa Joe. Of course, he is Joe's protege, here to watch this match and lend some support.
almost Japanese style, where a lot of the wrestlers in Japan have seconds for their matches.
Joe trying to go into the corner, but Punk fighting his way out and keeping the headlock on. Nice agility by Punk, and Joe's very agile and quick for a big man, and in fact, even for a little man, he's very agile and quick. So Punk, very impressive, able to use that agility to keep the side headlock on Samoa Joe. The Ring of Honor World Champion has held that belt for over a year and a half. He's defended against all comers. Paul London, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, Homicide, Moss, Whitler, the list goes on. And Punk still holding the side headlock.
He got planted with a Greco-Roman backdrop. Sheer determination, hangs on to the side headlock. CM Punk appears, one of the differences between this match and the World Title Classic is it looks like CM Punk isn't going to go to the rope-a-dope. Does not want to take the shots from Samoa Joe, who is one of the best strikers in all of professional wrestling.
Perhaps Punk sensed that this headlock strategy did work and it did bring him within seconds of that world title. Maybe he thinks if he makes some adjustments later on in the match after using the side headlock, he will be your ROH World Champion. Shoulder block, no one budging. Joe challenging Punk to hit the ropes again. Oh, a pie face for insult right there.
Now these are mind games.
Third time no one budging. Punk picking up a head of steam. Goes for a cheap shot. Gets peppered for it.
Something I have never seen before. Samoa Joe goes to the floor.
You have to be here live to experience an atmosphere like this. Come on, Joe, kill it.
Samoa Joe with those open hand slabs, as you aptly put it, peppered CM Punk. Punk did not respond in kind. Instead, CM Punk went back to the wrestling, went back to the arm drag, went back to the back cradle, which is what Colt Cabana used to beat Samoa Joe at Survival of the Fittest. Samoa Joe, for the first time since I've seen him defend the title, went to the floor to regain his composure.
And it looks like that fan just made him lose that composure. Joe kicking the guardrail. Maybe this hometown crowd is really giving CM Punk a huge advantage, and it's getting to Samoa Joe.
Well, Samoa Joe, I think, is getting a little bit frustrated. CM Punk has insisted that this be a wrestling match. Samoa Joe has tried to get him out of that, has slapped him, shoulder butted him on the break, chopped him on the break, and can't get CM Punk to change his game plan.
Joe definitely looks frustrated. Punk, look at him, he's ready to go. Joe a little tentative.
Well, CM Punk is cautious about locking up too, and wisely so.
Go behind by Punk, takes the big man off his feet.
Reverse waist lock pickup. CM Punk. Again, this is a guy that you think of all the great brawls he's had, you don't think of CM Punk as a great technical wrestler, but he's been brilliant thus far in the match.
Well, he's proved he can out-wrestle with anybody. He's proved that against AJ Styles. He proved that against Samoa Joe at World Title Classic. He's proved that against Homicide in the past.
Now reverses the ride. Samoa Joe with the hammerlock, floats up. CM Punk covers up. Now he's going to sit out. Comes up with his own face, front face lock. Samoa Joe sits out. And look at CM Punk cover up.
Joe's got that fist cocked, and Todd Sinclair telling him to open up. Joe respecting the official. CM Punk, it also should be noted, is no stranger to winning ROH Gold in Chicago. The very first Chicago show, CM Punk and Colt Cabana ended the Briscoes' 6-month tag team title reign. That was Reborn Stage 2. An awesome match there. A huge victory celebration, and this one will be almost bigger.
stalemate position. Samoa Joe, display of sportsmanship there, letting Punk back up to his feet on the stalemate.
Knuckle lock. Both men struggling, jockeying for position.
I'm not sure this is what CM Punk wants to be doing.
Oh, headbutt. Joe unleashing the big guns, but Punk firing right back. Punk missing the back fist and paying the price of being the recipient of that kick. Punk needs a breather now.
Punk needs to get back up in the ring. You don't want to fight Samoa Joe on the floor.
You hear a Joe chant from this crowd. The crowd definitely respects Joe. It's just that CM Punk is their hometown boy. We're in the second city of Chicago, and you're dealing with the leader of the second city Saints here.
Is it my imagination or CM Punk even more focused than he was at World Title Classic?
Both these men obviously studying the tape of that World Title Classic match, using some of the same strategies we saw in that match, coming up with new strategies, and even coming up with variations of the same strategies they used in that bout.
I would agree with that analysis. CM Punk wanted to offer a Greco-Roman knuckle lock, thought better of it.
Joe looks like he wants to play the striking game now.
And CM Punk thinking better of that as well. I think CM would rather lock up than try to strike with Samoa Joe.
And it does appear, as you mentioned earlier, Mark Nolte, that he's not trying to play the rope-a-dope game again. You see the pain on the face of CM Punk as Joe forces him down with that knuckle lock.
Nobody in ROH will have a power advantage against Samoa Joe.
Punk now trying to make, using leverage. Traps Joe, but his shoulders are down. Punk aware of that. Boy, it could end that quickly. Once again.
Wants to take him over. Look at Samoa Joe. Smart move by Samoa Joe. Look how he widens his base to keep Punk from being able to take him over with that head scissors. That's what Punk wanted to do. Samoa Joe with the counter. That's a lot of weight to monkey flip like CM Punk just did. But Samoa Joe hangs on to that Greco-Roman knuckle lock. I think this crowd is now showing its respect to both men because they know they're seeing a terrific wrestling match.
These people are getting behind Punk now. Every eye in this building glued to the ring.
Adrenaline burst by Punk.
Goes right back to the arm of Joe. Getting a little aggressive there with that boot.
I think these are the first strikes that CM Punk has used. Now goes right back to the arm drag, covers it for two.
Slamming that arm against the canvas. Drop kicking it. Punk going after that limb of Samoa Joe.
Punk is more aggressive than he was in the first title match.
Joe went down to the chop.
And that was right before I was going to say that he doesn't want to get into a chopping contest with Joe. Takes him down with a hammerlock. If you got to describe this match in one word, the word would be focus. CM Punk has been a very focused wrestler thus far. Has stuck with his game plan, and his game plan has been successful.
You're dealing with two very intelligent wrestlers here, two students of the game, two men just as adept at mind games as they are in their in-ring physical abilities. They are exhibiting all sides of their skills in this one so far. Punk hanging onto the arm, continues to twist it and wrench it.
CM Punk is convinced that he can out-wrestle Samoa Joe. That if he doesn't get into a striking contest, that if it doesn't come into a wide-open brawl, that he can win this match by out-wrestling. And thus far, I think it's a sound strategy.
Punk doing now? Climbing up to the top. Punk pulling out an old trick. I haven't seen him do that since 2002.
You can name all the wrestlers that can legitimately walk the ropes on one hand, and you just saw CM Punk do it.
That used to be an old trademark move from Punk. He has not done that in a couple of years. Punk pulling out some old tricks here.
And look at Punk right back to the rear chin lock.
But he's got that arm hook too.
Now he's going to take over the hammer lock. And again, he's going to use his head to guide Samoa Joe to the mat. Samoa Joe has kissed more canvas, I think, than even Bryan Danielson did a great job of coming in and wrestling Samoa Joe. I think CM Punk saw that match and saw that that's the strategy to go after Joe.
Joe, vicious back elbows, but Punk cuts him off with another arm drag.
Well, you can tell CM Punk's been working out with Ricky Steamboat with that arm drag, can't you?
It's a thing of beauty. Joe just seems to be taking more and more punishment with each passing title match. You got to figure that being on top for this long, facing so many top opponents, the wear and tear is definitely getting to Joe. That's no secret. How much punishment can this man take as Punk's still hanging on to the arm? Every escape Joe is attempting has not worked. Punk now pulling Joe into the middle of the ring.
That's a key lock. That's something that you don't see that often. I have a feeling that's another hold he got from Ricky Steamboat.
Joe's got to get out of this soon. If you also neutralize that arm, you also take away Joe's chokehold. You take away Joe's ability to lift you for perhaps a muscle buster.
Drop kick right into the tricep.
Punk with a little jogging in place there, showing that he's feeling good while the world champion is in pain. Joe unleashing a big forearm. Again, right to the mug of CM Punk.
Punk stays with the wrestling.
Joe using his quickness and power all in one move.
When you can throw a forearm that hard, that'll even a match up in a hurry.
Now the question is, how can the world champion follow up and put the challenger away for good?
Snapmares him.
Joe going for that combo. It's worked in the past, but Punk was smart to it. Goes right back to the headlock.
Traps the ankle, takes him back down, then floats right back up into the rear chin lock.
If this keeps up, not only will Samoa Joe have an injured arm, he's also going to be very groggy from these front face locks, side headlocks. Definitely taking a toll on Samoa Joe. Punk attacking him on two fronts. Right back to the side headlock.
Samoa Joe tried to whip him into the rope. CM Punk wasn't going to have anything to do with it. Again, extended wrist, takes the wrist lock into the side headlock. CM Punk is a man possessed.
Both men spill through the ropes.
CM Punk still has the headlock. With the Roman backdrop to the floor.
Joe getting desperate there. You hear the Joe supporters here.
In fairness to Joe, CM Punk would have done something similar if he had to and had the opportunity. I think one of the things that both men respect about each other is that they will go on head on after each other. Now, they're going to be very aggressive. They'll pull out all the stops. And in that sense, it will be fair. But both men will do what it takes to win, and both men realizes their opponent will do the same.
Todd Sinclair telling him to get into the ring. Of course, no countouts here in ROH. You can't be DQ'd if you're out there for too long. But I think Sinclair would let them wrestle the whole hour on the floor in this 60-minute time limit match before he rang for a DQ. 2 count there.
I think Sinclair's done a very good job with this match. As a matter of fact, I think all the ROH officials have really stepped up their game over the last several shows.
No doubt. Snap there over. No, once again, that kick block. Joe, though, counters. Big score for Samoa Joe with that knee.
This is Samoa Joe's first big opportunity for offense of the night.
Joe now has the chance to dictate the pace in this match. Let's see if he's able to take advantage of it. He's moving a little slow, though.
What do you say? Come on, Punk.
Samoa Joe has had the win restricted for a large part of this match. Now CM Punk in the corner, not covering up, and Samoa Joe blasting him with those chops.
Sweeps the legs out. Joe, though, cringing in pain when he tried to clap with that arm. Face wash time. Punk rolls out of the way, saves himself. Joe tries to follow him, but Punk cuts him off with a knee. Punk firing back now. Right on the jaw of the world champion.
In my imagination, or CM Punk particularly quick in this match tonight.
Punk is looking awesome. This could be it. The atmosphere is in the air. The title change. History could be made. Face wash now by Punk. Getting his receipt on Samoa Joe.
Now CM Punk getting the crowd into it.
He connected when Samoa Joe couldn't with the very same move. This could be the night of the challenger. The title reign could end right here in Chicago. Cover!
I think CM Punk's still feeling the effects of that Greco-Roman backdrop on the floor.
It's almost a shame we have to sit here and announce this, Nolte, because I really want to get in the crowd and watch this one. I even see Mick Foley watching this from the crowd. Punk now wants to see what he can follow up with.
Drives him with that knee in the back, face first into the mat from the second row.
Another move that I don't usually see from CM Punk.
Finish him!
Turns him over. Cover!
Doesn't get the leg hook. I'm not sure that would have put Samoa Joe away anyway.
Punk trying another cover though. Don't forget, it only takes 3 seconds. That can seem like the longest time, period of time, or it can seem like the shortest space of time. 3 seconds, you just knock a guy out and you get him down for 3 seconds, that's it.
Traps the leg, kicks the hamstring, now Samoa Joe. Looks like he wants an STF.
This made Rocky Romero tap last night. Doesn't have it cinched in, turns into a different kind of stretch. Can Punk fight out of it? Joe really rearing back. How did Punk not tap to that? That could snap your spine.
Of all the great matches CM Punk has had, Jimmy, this may be his best.
The same can be said for Samoa Joe. The same can be said for ROH history.
Watch it, Joe, watch it.
Joe nonchalantly walks out of the way of that crossbody.
Samoa Joe, I think, still trying to catch his breath a little bit.
He has been slow to follow up.
Here come the Joe supporters back.
Backbreaker. Joe connects with a high impact move.
Now this is a fight for the tempo of the match. And now it's going to be the Samoa Joe style. The big impact moves and those vicious strikes.
Joe has Punk hooked. Takes him up for a vertical suplex, lets him think about it.
All the blood rushing to CM Punk's head.
Plants him.
The power of Samoa Joe on display.
Cover! Punk not even letting Joe get a 2 count.
He held CM Punk so high, all that blood rushing to the brain. I'm surprised he wasn't unconscious by the time he landed.
Punk now almost begging off into the corner. A couple of desperation kicks.
Well, he's definitely trying to create a little separation right here. Definitely needs to buy some time.
Punk jumps over that leg sweep, scores with a drop kick.
Extended wrist lock by Punk.
This time Joe gets it. Takes Punk down. There's a look of frustration on the face of the world champion.
Just a brilliant wrestling match to this point.
No.
We need to see a winner this time. Joe trying to turn Punk over for that crab. Punk grasping the leg of Joe, trying to fight out of it.
Gets him turned. But CM Punk can use both legs to escape. That's the disadvantage of the Boston Crab versus the half crab. You get bent completely in half.
Which Joe's trying to do right now.
Now, if you sit back on it, now Punk can't power out of it. Now he's going to have to get to the ropes, and he will do so.
What guts, what courage we're seeing here by both men.
Back off, Joe.
Look at that chest heave of Samoa Joe. He knows he's in a battle for his title.
Get on him.
Joe so quick with those fists. Punk said corner to corner and he's face down on the mat.
He didn't whip him into the buckle. He drove him into the buckle.
Joe now trying to follow up.
I think Joe's starting to feel it now. I think Joe thinks that Punk's pretty close to ready to go home.
Joe unleashing a barrage of kicks. Punk, where's he getting it from?
European forearm uppercut, and Jimmy, I think CM Punk's eye is swollen.
Cover! With all these hard-hitting strikes and kicks, I would not be surprised if that eye was either busted open or blackened.
The first half of this match was CM Punk's style. This is Samoa Joe's style. Again, drives him into the opposite bucket. I think Todd Sinclair is trying to figure out if CM Punk can continue.
Punk showed a lot of heart not too long ago. I thought that he was down and out. You thought he was down and out, and he fired back. You can't count out CM Punk.
And Samoa Joe is moving in, but notice Samoa Joe does not throw caution to the wind. That Samoa Joe still respects the fact that CM Punk is more than capable from wrestling from behind, and CM Punk is more than capable of catching something quick if Samoa Joe leaves himself open.
The big story that just happened is when Joe tried that running boot scrape earlier, Punk had enough width about him and enough inside of him to move out of the way. This time, Punk did not. Perhaps that's a sign that the challenger might be close to done.
Yeah, I think he's running on fumes now. He's taken a lot of punishment the last 5 or so minutes.
Not only that, but Joe has survived everything that Punk has dished out, from working the arm to the continuous headlocks to all the strikes, punches, everything that Punk has tried, even those new moves or the old tricks that Punk has pulled out, and the champion is looking stronger than ever right now.
I think Samoa Joe does not want Todd Sinclair to call this so tight, but it's given CM Punk just that quick respite that he needed to try to mount a flurry, but Samoa Joe is going to put an end to that vicious headbutt.
Look at Punk reaching for the ropes, reaching for something to help him. And what a cocky cover by Joe. By cocky's not the right word, insulting the way that Joe just planted his hand in the face of CM Punk. The challenger does have a blackened eye.
This is turning into target practice for Samoa Joe. Now another stare down between Samoa Joe and Todd Sinclair. Samoa Joe, I don't think, is used to having his matches called so tight.
He is unleashing the heavy artillery now. Sinclair ordering him out of the corner. And Joe grants the wish by whipping Punk in, but Punk with a boot! Punk with a desperation hurricanrana scores! Joe slides out of the ring!
Tope Suicida by CM Punk.
Almost a desperation move from Punk, firing back on the champion, showing that there's signs of life left in the challenger. Punk won't be denied in his hometown. What's Punk doing?
He's not going to do what I think he's going to do, is he?
He's pulling Joe's own ole kick out on Joe.
I don't know about this one. He connects with it.
Punk, driven by the support of the crowd, has Joe down.
CM Punk had been brutalized for about 10 minutes. Now trying to even up the punishment. How embarrassing is it for Samoa Joe to get hit with his own move?
At the same time, you can't win the world title on the floor.
Come on! Get in the ring!
Sinclair trying to get him into the ring. And it's going to be ole kick one more time. Punk nails it again.
CM Punk has completely turned this match around. Samoa Joe out on the floor. If CM Punk can get him back into the ring, he wins.
All I saw was the whites of Samoa Joe's eyes as his eyeballs rolled back into his head.
Time's up, Joe! Time's up, Joe!
Joe finding his way to his feet.
That will change the momentum in a hurry.
That may end this match. CM Punk is moving, but I don't know if he's conscious.
And look at Joe. Joe is pissed off. He knows that he took his own move. Now he's going to teach Punk a lesson.
Well, Punk's eyes are open, so he's conscious.
He cuts off Joe. Unleashing shots on each other. Ole time for Joe. Nails it.
Now is CM Punk conscious.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
What fury by the world champion.
Come on, man.
40 minutes so far.
Let the man catch his breath.
I didn't think that it was possible for this match to be better than World Title Classic. I was wrong.
Well, we really need to see a conclusive winner in order for it to surpass World Title Classic. But yes, we are seeing another World Title Classic right here.
Both men make their way back to the ring. I think CM Punk is out on his feet. Samoa Joe has the adrenaline, has the momentum.
Head scissors takes Joe into the corner.
CM Punk creating a little bit of separation.
Cover!
Joe's got to start hooking those legs. Again, both men have taken so much punishment in this match that both men are moving that step slow. It's making it harder for them to capitalize on advantages.
Oh, Punk back with that kick. Joe now scores with a tope of his own, a fine form. Mark, I can't take it anymore. I see Mick Foley in the crowd. This atmosphere is incredible. I say let's go to the crowd. You gotta be a fan for something like this.
You know what, Jimmy, you're right. I think this match speaks for itself.
For Mark Nolte, I'm Jimmy Power. Enjoy the rest of this match and thank you for purchasing this whole release. This is incredible!
Come on, guys, in the ring. In the ring, come on. You get in the ring.
You know, there's a few things I'm certain about. Unfortunately, there's a lot more that I'm uncertain about. I know that I couldn't get the job done in 60 minutes. I know you couldn't get the job done in 60 minutes, Joe. I know for a fact that my Pepsi Plunge can beat you because it beat you in Boston. Unfortunately, I wasn't the one that got the pinfall thanks to Homicide. I'm not sure that your Muscle Buster can pin me because you hit it as the time limit expired. I also know we can't do this again. If we can't be contained in 60 minutes, the answer is quite simple. Next time we meet, and there will be a next time, whether it's 4 months from now, whether it's 8 months from now, whether it's 1 year from now, I don't care if it's here in America, I don't care if it's in another country, I don't care if it's in ROH, but it will be for that belt, and it will be no time limit. And we'll find out exactly who is the king of ROH.
Second chance, Punk. Second chance, Punker. And you still didn't get the job done. Don't think you're getting any more. 60 minutes, but the job is to beat me. Not to survive me. It was a good effort. But it's your last one.
That this next match that's coming up, Samoa Joe, CM Punk. This match is going to be filled with a lot of wrestling skill, and for the time being, I'm going to plant my butt right over here next to Mikey G, and I'm just going to be a wrestling fan for a change and get me a front row seat and watch this match.
The following contest is the main event, scheduled for 1 fall, with no time limit. There must
greatest of all times. I'ma say it just like Ali did.
Can you feel the energy in this building right now?
It is the wrestling trilogy of the 21st century. CM Punk, Samoa Joe. In the 50s, it was Buddy Rogers and Lou Thesz. In the 60s, it was Gorilla Monsoon and Bruno Sammartino. In the 70s, it was Jack Briscoe and Dory Funk Jr. In the 80s, it was Ric Flair and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And now, it is CM Punk and Samoa Joe. There's the bell, and it is on.
No time limit. The electricity in this building is unreal. Oh, I hope you can feel it through your TV set, but that doesn't do it any justice. You gotta be here live. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat watching on at ringside, here as a fan.
Nobody understands the pressure of the big match more than Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. These two men have taken each other to the absolute physical limits twice. Samoa Joe, a man who was thought to be such a big hitter, whose title matches almost never went even 20 minutes, twice shows why he is a great champion, as CM Punk takes him 60 minutes twice. CM Punk showing he is tough at an unimaginable level, taking Samoa Joe's best shots for one solid hour, not once, but twice. And this is the night that we're going to get the issue decided and find out who is the ROH World Heavyweight Champion.
There must be a winner, no time limit. This is the final shot that CM Punk will get at Samoa Joe. Punk trying for the headlock. Samoa Joe able to avoid it thus far. Samoa Joe once again avoiding the headlock and avoids it again as he ducks out of the way. Levels Punk with another big chop. Punk going to the outside, trying to regroup. For the first time, Punk's strategy in the early going is not working.
Well, Jimmy, I saw the piece that you did prior to this match, and it was a terrific piece. I thought that's a great addition to this DVD. And CM Punk talks about watching all of Samoa Joe's matches and how much he's learned watching those matches. Make no mistake, Samoa Joe, also a student of professional wrestling, also a student of CM Punk. Samoa Joe will have his own strategies. His tactics will have evolved into this third match as well.
Punk
Punk getting in Joe's face. He's challenging Joe to go into the ropes. Joe challenging Punk to chop him. What was that?
Mind games.
Punk now challenging Joe to chop him.
Let's go.
Punk ducks! Backslide! Oh, that was almost it. Punk now gets the headlock.
Joe, what do you say? Come on, Joe. Joe, come
Wrenches
on.
it in.
Come on, Joe. No. Come on, Joe.
Taunting Joe, you just heard him yell.
Notice the way CM Punk countered the Greco-Roman backdrop by overbalancing into the hip toss.
Joe, come on.
Punk knows this is his last opportunity at the world title.
Come on, Joe.
He knows that he's got no time limit. He could go all night.
The two stalwarts of Ring of Honor, Samoa Joe, has been a champion of unprecedented honor and courage and credentials. CM Punk, in a lot of ways, even above the title, has been the face of Ring of Honor. And tonight we're going to find out who is the man that is going to lead the Ring of Honor into 2005.
That is the big question. Can Joe make it into 2005 as champion? If he makes it to March, that'll be the 2-year mark that he has held that title.
CM Punk wants to see to it that he doesn't make it to Christmas.
Punk targeting the back of the neck with that drop kick.
We're seeing the thread of the stratagems from the first two matches here early. CM Punk going back to that side headlock. It was interesting in that feature that CM Punk didn't want to win, wasn't planning on winning the first match with the Pepsi plunge as much as he was with the sleeper hold.
Joe was ready in the early going though, as he had some counters to that headlock, but right now he has fell victim to the front face lock.
And beautiful counter wrestling by CM Punk as Samoa Joe tries to take that away with the hammerlock, and CM Punk spins back into that front face lock.
Joe now trying to make his way up to his feet, and he does. Punk snap mirrors Joe over. Another one of those drop kicks right to the back of the head again, back of the neck, and there's a third one to the back of the neck. One right to the face of Joe. Punk hitting hard, coming out aggressive.
Well, this crowd, you talked about the crowd and the electricity in the air tonight. This is almost a Japanese-style crowd. They're both so respectful of both men, so appreciative of both men. They're just sitting on their edge of their seats, waiting for the big moment in this match.
Once again, Punk right to the neck of Joe with that stomp. Another one. It's almost midnight here in Elizabeth, New Jersey, outside of New York City, and you see every eye glued to that ring. Every fan with a look of anticipation on their face. They've seen it all tonight, but this is the match that they paid to see, and they are ready for a classic here.
They've seen two classic matches in the previous months between these two. A 5-star match from the Wrestling Observer. Now, Samoa Joe, his first offense of the evening, has CM Punk cornered, chops, a big headbutt, and Joe has rattled himself by that headbutt.
Joe has hit Punk hard in the past. He blackened Punk's eye at the last match. He headbutted Punk so hard he hurt himself. A reversal, Punk goes up and over. Punk ducking the strike, connecting to the neck area again with that kick.
Springboard drop kick to the back. CM Punk going a little bit more to the air than we saw in the first two matches. Hooks the near leg, and now it's going to lock up again.
Punk used to use that springboard drop kick a lot. He has not used it in recent times. Once again, pulling out an old trick, just like he did in the last match with that top rope walk.
This crowd has so much respect and so much love for Samoa Joe, but Jimmy, I think you can feel them rooting for CM Punk because they want to be part of history tonight.
The last match getting 5 stars by Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. The first match getting 5 stars in the United States since 1997. Can this one top it? Joe going for the sidewalk slam. Punk counters it. Punk going for the roll-up. Joe counters it. Now he's on top. 2 count. Punk now. 2 count there, 2. Right back to the side headlock. Punk dictating the pace.
We are seeing the evolution of 2 great wrestlers to their absolute zenith. Both men, you can see how much they've studied the tape of the first 2 matches. Both men have improved even further. Both men know every move, every nuance of their opponent, and have figured out the counter.
Todd Sinclair getting the draw on this one, checking on the shoulder of Samoa Joe, doing a great job officiating. There's a reason he was selected to do this match. Once again, checking the shoulder. Punk retching in that headlock, trying to get the cobwebs, and Joe's head. Joe turns it over. The pin could happen at any time in this one, Mark.
Well, that's the best counter for the side headlock, is to try to turn it into a pinning combination like that.
Punk squeezing with all his strength.
Samoa Joe, just so big and strong, still manages a way to get to his feet. Now waistlocks Punk, moves him into the corner. Sinclair calling for the break, both men being very cautious.
Let's see if we get it. Joe showing aggressiveness, Punk fighting back. No rope-a-dope here. Joe's knees buckled. The champion went down.
Down goes Samoa Joe. Down goes Samoa Joe. I have never seen Samoa Joe taken off his feet with a single strike the way CM Punk just did.
Joe's back up though. Big knee strikes. Another one. Oh, nails Punk with that one. We've seen him hit so hard in the past.
This is the exchange that Samoa Joe looked for in the first 2 matches that CM Punk would not grant him.
What a kick! Punk sent to the floor from that kick. Joe blackened Punk's eye in the second match. I wouldn't be surprised if Punk had another black eye after that.
Are we going to see that forearm tope again?
Joe looks like he needs a breather, though, as he is taking his opportunity to get some air in his lungs, kneeling down in the corner.
Well, not only that, Samoa Joe got tagged. I can count on one hand all the times I've seen somebody drop Samoa Joe.
Whoa! Punk's busted open! Joe is lacerated. CM Punk with that kick. Perhaps on the top of the head, the forehead area, it's hard to tell. Or this one could be over before it even really has a chance to get started.
Yes, Samoa Joe now has the advantage because CM Punk, not only is he rocking, but he is bleeding, and we've talked about this before. As you lose blood, you lose your energy, you lose your stamina. And look at Samoa Joe, immediately goes right after that cut. And Jimmy, I think that's the right move. This is a high-stakes match. Both wrestlers know what's on the line coming into this. Both wrestlers know that his opponent will do whatever it takes to win.
CM Punk, he is lacerated, and Samoa Joe is going right after that cut, trying to rip the flesh of CM Punk. Brutal. Drops the big knee.
It's interesting to note that CM Punk had the counter for that combination earlier, but now CM Punk is dazed, and it's Samoa Joe that connects with that chop kick combination that he likes so much.
Samoa Joe now ripping at the flesh of CM Punk, trying to tear that skin open. He's trying to open up that cut even wider. This crowd is almost stunned silent as Joe digging those fingernails into the lacerated forehead of CM Punk.
This might be a good time to bring up that we have seen CM Punk in the most bloody battles in ROH history, and he has survived and he has won.
Joe now grinding that forearm into the forehead of CM Punk as Punk's hair becomes stained blood red.
This is not new territory, though, for CM Punk.
No, we saw that Raven feud in 2003. There was a lot of blood spilled in that one.
And that brutal Chicago street fight with Moffin Whitmer a few months back.
That's right, Death Before Dishonor Part 2. One of the craziest hardcore matches in ROH history. Who'll ever forget the chair throwing incident in that match?
CM Punk takes punishment as well as any wrestler. I'm not even going to say in Ring of Honor, just takes punishment as well as any wrestler in the sport.
Right now, though, Joe is trying to, it looks like, stretch CM Punk. Punk reaching for the ropes. Todd Sinclair calling for the break. One thing, though, is that Samoa Joe, you know Mark Nolte, he loves to use that chokehold. And one thing about blood loss, it will make you woozy. It will make you susceptible to pass out. Punk fighting back.
CM Punk trying to fight his way out of trouble. Samoa Joe with a headbutt. Down goes CM Punk. Punk's going to go to the floor. Punk's trying to create some distance. Right now, CM Punk, I'm not sure who this is, but he's got to do something to create some distance and try to regain his composure.
Punk's losing a lot of blood right now. The blood dripping everywhere.
I noticed that Samoa Joe is not following CM Punk on the floor.
Samoa Joe is definitely taking his time here, definitely choosing his spots, making the most of each blow. A reversal by Punk. This time Joe nails the sidewalk slam.
This is where Samoa Joe wants the match in the ring. We've talked before about the brutal brawls that CM Punk...
Cover! Sorry to cut you off, Mark, but there was a pinfall attempt, and there's nothing bigger than that in a match like this.
CM Punk is too good at brawling on the floor. Samoa Joe knows that. That's why he wants to keep this match in the ring.
You noticed before, though, Punk was able to counter the sidewalk slam. This time, Joe was able to hit it. Perhaps that blood loss taking a toll on the consciousness of CM Punk.
This is how much respect Samoa Joe has for CM Punk. Number one, he's following up on the cut. No mercy, because he knows he can't afford to give CM Punk mercy. And second, he wants to try to finish him off now because he knows that CM Punk is capable of battling from a bloodied state.
Joe running in. Big running face wash. You see the blood of CM Punk on Samoa Joe. That is how much blood Punk has lost. Punk's hair is now dyed red.
Stay up the head.
Cover! Two count only, Todd Sinclair, very fair count. Once again, Joe going for the win at every opportunity. Perhaps Joe might be going for the arm here. It's tough to tell from our vantage point. Perhaps it's at a side headlock. Joe just trying to wear down Punk right now. Punk fighting out of it with all his heart and courage.
Samoa Joe knows that CM Punk will not go quietly.
Punk going to the back of the neck that he worked on earlier to get out of the hold, and it worked. Once again, Punk going to the back of the neck. Nice stomp to the forehead. The champion's in trouble. Can the champion come back? Punk coming in, up and over. Oh. Another brutal kick. Joe wastes no time in following up with that tope.
Samoa Joe, the master at capitalizing on the opportunity. See, I don't know how CM Punk is still conscious.
In the ring, Punk.
I've seen CM Punk lose a lot of blood before, but this might be the most blood.
Well, CM Punk, we've talked about it before, the fact that he's been in some vicious, bloody brawls. He has never been at the mercy of anybody with the striking capability of Samoa Joe.
You know what Joe wants to go for now. Punk is in bad territory.
Get up, get in the ring, Joe.
It's ole time. He nails it!
And look at all that blood on his leg.
You saw the damage that did to the guardrail and the follow-through. Could you imagine what the impact did to CM Punk's face? Joe covered in Punk's blood. The champion's being ruthless.
Oh, Joe's feeling it now.
Joe knows he might be moments away from putting Punk away from good. If CM Punk cannot defeat Samoa Joe, who can?
Joe in the ring.
It's going to be ole ole time again.
Come on, Joe. No, knock it off, Joe. Come on. Come on, no. No, knock it off.
Punk blocks it. Punk going up. Maybe for that Hurricanrana again.
Come on, in the ring, guys.
CM Punk has used that dropkick effectively in all 3 matches, and that has been his weapon of choice tonight. And that one's going to give him some type of an opportunity to recover.
CM Punk turning the tables on Joe, who was probably expecting that Hurricanrana that failed in the first 2 matches. Punk outsmarting Joe, nailing that drop kick. This crowd behind both men, but it seems more so CM Punk. Punk, an elbow to the back of the neck. Once again going for the back of the neck. Targeting that as a weak point.
I think this crowd is rallying CM Punk to an extent.
Punk soars with a knee to the back of the neck. Punk putting it all on the line in his last world title match.
CM Punk with the heart the size of a basketball. All the punishment he's absorbed, all the blood he has lost. Still, he is pulling out all the stops, taking all the risks to try to get back into this match for the ROH World Heavyweight Championship.
Of course, no countouts in the Ring of Honor. If you're out there too long, you can't be DQ'd. Punk wisely rolling Joe into the ring. He can't win on the floor. Punk, uh-oh. Oh, that was a loss of blood. Almost sent him off. Cross-body cover. 2 count. Punk showing a high-flying, aggressive strategy in this one.
This is the backup plan for CM Punk. He did go for the headlocks early. Now he wants to try to go to the air. The springboard dropkick has been his most effective weapon.
Punk blocking. Tornado DDT connects. Cover. Everybody in the Rexplex thought that might have been it. Samoa Joe's taking a lot of punishment, particularly to the back of the neck and the head area.
He needs to sustain this flurry, and he needs to finish him off.
Shining Wizard, Mark. He's going to go for the Shining Wizard. He's come close to defeating Joe in the first 2 matches with it. This could be it. Here it comes. Joe counters with a 2 count, and now he's going for the crossarm breaker. No! Oh, another 2 count. Joe now, he needs to hit some big offense soon. Power bomb, he does just that. 2 count. He's going for that STF.
He's using the ropes.
And Todd Sinclair should call for a break. He's trying to stretch Punk. This is similar to the second match. Punk admitted to almost tapping to it. Can't Punk, oh, Joe going for the hair, that's illegal. We're really seeing an aggressive side of Samoa Joe here between going for the hair and going after the cut.
CM Punk is so bloody that he cannot get a hold on his forehead or his chin.
Punk was also elbowing the back of the neck of Samoa Joe. Todd Sinclair called for the break since Joe was pulling the hair, but I think Punk would have gotten it out of it anyways with those strikes to the back of the neck. Punk needs to hit that Pepsi plunge. We could have a new world champion if he does. Joe going for the dragon! No, Punk saves himself going to the ropes. Joe still hasn't cinched in. Tried for it, Punk blocks it. Punk turns Joe around. Hooks the leg DDT.
Samoa Joe rolls his shoulder at the last possible second. Cinches up on the overhand wrist lock. Has the head hooked as well.
Punk has not worked on the arm in this one, as this hold does cause a lot of damage to the arm, a lot of pain in the arm.
And the neck. He's wrenching the neck at the same time.
You're right, Mark. He's got the neck. Joe, though, gets Punk to release the hold.
You have to wonder how much longer CM Punk can maintain this level, losing this much blood.
Yeah, Punk, that blood loss will make you woozy. It could cause you to lose consciousness. Punk almost did that on the top rope before he went for the flying body press. The blood loss almost caused Punk to black out. Pepsi twist! Punk going up! He hits the moonsault, a knee right to the face of Joe. Cover! Only a 2.
Through the blood, you can see the frustration on CM Punk's face. I think that Punk expected to win the match there.
Punk, you hear the crowd behind him. Some people against Punk.
I don't know if they're against Punk, it's just how much they respect what a great champion Samoa Joe has been for Ring of Honor.
It looks like Punk might try to go airborne again. He has been very effective with his high flying in this match.
Samoa Joe sets for him, catches him with a clothesline.
Punk perhaps going to the top one time too many. What's Joe doing? This is a dangerous position for Joe to be in, as we've seen these two struggle on the top before, and this is an easy position for Punk to hit the Pepsi plunge. Punk now fights out of it, right in the face of Samoa Joe. Punk now, though, opting to go off the top. Perhaps a big powerbomb attempt here. Joe hanging on. Wow! Cover!
How does he get out from underneath that?
This crowd thought that was it. Joe thought that was it. Everyone thought it was it, but CM Punk, who had the heart to kick out. This could be Punk's night. I can feel it, Mark. We're going to have a new champion. History is going to be made. This could be Punk's night.
CM Punk looks not to be denied tonight.
Joe perhaps go for some more drop. Punk needs his way out of it. Mule kick connects. Shining Wizard! He jumps on him, blocks Joe from getting to the ropes! That time Punk finally hit the Wizard, made a quick pinfall attempt, and kept Joe from going to the ropes, but Joe still kicked out. Perhaps I was wrong, perhaps the champion will retain. If Punk doesn't defeat Joe tonight, who can defeat Joe? Joe can have the belt forever.
A lot of times, sporting events that are hyped as much as this one is are a disappointment. This one has actually exceeded the hype.
We could be seeing another 5 stars right here. Punk going for another Pepsi twist. Joe blocks it. He's got the choke. It's a sleeper. It's a sleeper. Punk suffering all the blood loss, has to be woozy. He already has to be close to losing consciousness. Joe's got it wrenched in.
CM Punk, best move at this point is try to get over to his side and try to alleviate that pressure, also giving him opportunity to suplex his way out of it. Instead, Samoa Joe continues.
Joe's making Punk carry his weight as well. Punk is down. He is fading fast.
You cannot escape from a supine position.
The life is leaving the body of CM Punk.
And look at Samoa Joe's body position. He is between CM Punk and the closest rope.
Todd Sinclair checking the pulse. There's one. There's 2. One more and it's over. That's it. What's Steamboat doing? Punk's fingers were moving. Steamboat saw it and kept Mike G, the timekeeper, from ringing the bell.
made by this crowd, but Samoa Joe, now he is not to be denied.
Punk trying to turn it around. No, Joe still has it cinched in.
Samoa Joe refuses to leave the hold no matter what CM Punk does.
Punk on top!
CM Punk almost with the greatest defensive move in ROH history.
Roll up! Crucifix!
CM Punk rolling out all those flash pins.
La Magistral! No, Joe on top! Punk on top! Oh, what's it gonna take? What's it gonna take?
CM Punk spoke of this. Flash pins is what almost everyone that has pinned Samoa Joe in the last 2 years has pinned him with.
These people are witnessing history.
The greatest trilogy in Ring of Honor history, and dare I say the greatest trilogy in 21st century wrestling.
We have a back and forth now, both men with big forearms. Both men tired, both men dazed, both men battered and bruised. Punk getting that adrenaline, firing back on the champion. Joe now. What? I can't believe it. The champion must be desperate. He put his feet on the ropes. Joe has never been that desperate before.
Both of these men are desperate.
Joe, I'm speechless. Yeah, this crowd, I feel the same way as them. I can't believe Joe would do that. Punk trying to hook the plunge. He's trying for a reverse Pepsi plunge. We've seen him hit it like that before. Joe knocks him down.
Now the ROH World Heavyweight Champion mounting the top rope. He's gonna fly.
He overshot Punk, but his knee hit Punk right in the face.
It may have done more damage than if he had hit the body press.
Both men are down. Who wants it more?
Referee Todd Sinclair, who has done a terrific job with this match tonight.
Well, he can count both men down. It will not matter. There must be a winner in this one. No time limit. Punk going for a simple roll-up. This could be it. Joe has the choke. Joe has the choke cinched in. Punk trying to squirm out of it with his last bit of energy. German.
A rolling German looks like. Now gets the full L's a dragon suplex.
He got 2/3 of that tomorrow combo, and he's got the choke cinched in. Todd Sinclair checking the pulse of Punk. He's checking to see if Punk is breathing.
This may be it.
I don't think Punk is breathing. Sinclair just checked and he just rang the bell.
We have a winner. Samoa Joe is going to retain the ROH World Heavyweight Championship in the greatest trilogy in ROH history.
Punk was not breathing. Todd Sinclair put his hand in front of the mouth to see a Punk and did not feel any breath. Punk was not breathing. Todd Sinclair had to ring for the bell. Punk might have suffered brain damage. He might have died there. Samoa Joe is still your champion. What a match. What an event.
The crowd to its feet showing their respect for both of these brilliant warriors.
This Punk seconds his students from the ROH Wrestling School in the ring where Punk is the head trainer. Jay Lethal, Samoa Joe's protege, checking on him. Joe holding up the belt. I can't agree with all his tactics in this match, but that is a proud champion. That is the man who made the ROH belt prestigious. All we need now is to see the code of honor fall and these two to shake hands.
They're trying to revive CM Punk, and it looks like he's stirring.
What a trilogy. What a series. I'm going to let this moment speak for itself. For Mark Nolte, I'm Jimmy Bauer. Thank you for purchasing this whole release.
Punker, turn around and look at me. You've been doing it all night. Hey, you folks may not like the things I do. You folks may not like my methods. But the bottom line is this. This is the most important belt in the world. It belongs to me. And I will do whatever it takes, whatever the cost, whatever needs to be done to keep it my belt. But the fact of the matter is, the real reason this belt means anything is because of guys like you who will do whatever needs to be done to take it from me. CM Punk, it was an honor. So I'll keep this short and sweet. Ring of Honor fans and wrestling fans around the world, no matter who you are in the back, that's you Austin Aries, that's you Nigel McGuinness, hell, that's even you John Walters, and low key, your time will come too. But most of all, I'm here to address one man. A man who had the balls to call me out when I wasn't here, so I'm returning the favor. Mick Foley! Like I said, you may not like Ric Flair, but Ric Flair never forgot who he was, and that's a pro wrestler. So Mick Foley, if you can get your ass out from behind that typewriter and meet me, a real wrestler in a wrestling ring for a wrestling company in front of wrestling fans, then Mick Foley, you'll have my respect. Ladies and gentlemen, the champ is leaving the building.
Lights like B.I.G.